Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I'm going to share with you perspective from a chart analyst arguing what is a new theory. I've never seen this before. It's a new theory that attempts to explain why XRP price has been struggling for years now and why we didn't see a new all-time high last market cycle. Now, I think that it's pretty simple. And I've been saying this for a long time, literally for years at this point. We didn't see XRP hit a new all-time high last market cycle because of the lawsuit, right? The SEC v. Ripple lawsuit. To me, you don't need to look any further than that. But this particular new theory is interesting, and I'm not 100% sure that I buy it, but it could be a component, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. Also share with you some additional perspective from a couple XRP chart analysts in this latest Moon Lambo hot jam. It's going to be a hoot. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so to kick off the good times here, I first wanted to highlight this. This is a post from ChartingGuy on April 25th, and he wrote, XRP possible cup and handle bottom forming. And he's changed his perspective since then. Again, that was April 25th. He reposted that and wrote, XRP more so an Adam and Eve bottom, targeting 64 cents short term. Currently at neckline around 55 cents, which has been a key support and resistance level for XRP throughout the years. So he's thinking move to the upside sooner than later, and he expanded his thoughts on XRP in this separate post. This is a chart that I have been tracking like a hawk because I know what this means once you factor in historical context. It's the XRP BTC pair. And so that's the chart that's on your screen here. He wrote XRP BTC. Is it time? Fractal projected target is 0.00006486. With today's Bitcoin price, that puts us at roughly $4.09 for XRP. Whew, wouldn't mind seeing that. That would be new all-time high territory, my friends. And I placed my bet. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a matter of time until we do hit a new all-time high under price discovery. And I'd be very shocked if we don't see that this market cycle, unless there's a black swan event and everything falls apart. But if we're going to have a proper expansion of crypto markets, XRP will be a part of that. I firmly believe that. Then he says, as I've been saying forever, new all-time high by July. So if he's right, XRP will hit a new all-time high within roughly the next couple months. And I always get nervous when any analyst, no matter how good they are, starts to predict based on a timeline, because even if they are correct about the chart formation that's playing out, these chart formations can play out faster or slower for portions of it than had happened in the past. So even if he's right about this, and he very well may be, I just get a little bit nervous when any reputable analyst, or any analyst period, starts putting timeline predictions out there. But given that we're in a bull market, this is one of those moments where I'd say it's definitely not crazy to suspect that, because of where we are cycle-wise for the entire crypto asset class. We are in a bull market, and things are going to heat back up. I firmly believe that anyway, and XRP is part of this. So yeah, XRP is going to go. But if you look at the last couple market cycles, there have been two major bursts for each of the last two market cycles, and a notable gap of 4, 5, 6 months in between. So if we're going to have a major burst now, even if there are two bursts, are we going to see? Or is it the case that the first burst would be the one to take us above a new all-time high, and then it consolidates for however long, and then we do see another final one to take us above $10 or wherever a lot of these analysts think we're going to go to? Maybe. I mean, it could look like that. That wouldn't be too weird. So yeah. Anyway, he shared that, and then he said, now say Bitcoin is at $85,000 to $100,000. At that time, like I think it'll be, then we're talking $5.51 to $6.48 for XRP. So if Bitcoin is upwards of $100,000 a couple months from now, then he's saying that would change what this would mean for XRP. And then he's thinking as high as $6.48 for that part of the cycle for XRP. And we're going to find out together, folks. Here's a post from chart analyst Bobby A, and this kind of resonated with me, so I thought I'd share it with you, and I kind of got a kick out of somebody pushing back against him on this. But Bobby A wrote the following. I know you hate XRP. I know you can't see its potential because it's not the bright, shiny object at the moment. But what you fail to see is that you are a sheep. You are part of the herd that is pre-programmed not to see opportunity when it's staring you right smack in the face, and because of your inability to think for yourself, you will chase green candles and miss the chance of a lifetime. But what do I know? I'm just a dude on X nailing every move in the world's most volatile market. And so I certainly agree with the sentiment. Like, the typical retail speculator is a lemming, following one after the other off a cliff to their own demise. And so Alpha 12, somebody, I've never seen this individual, nothing against this individual on a personal level, but giving off vibes that they are one of the typical, stereotypical lemming retailers out there. So this guy named Alpha 12 on social media platform X wrote to Bobby A the following: "There comes a certain point where conviction becomes just hope. Personally, I have nothing against XRP, it just doesn't make sense to hold it when holding any other asset would be superior. Just like it doesn't make sense to hold Bitcoin through a 70% drawdown in a bear market." Now, let's pause a note here. That's the type of stuff that people were saying in 2017 before XRP melted faces, especially after it traded sideways for half a year from roughly May of 2017 until about middle December 2017. That's exactly what people were saying. It's only a bad investment until suddenly you wake up one day and it's not. And then people FOMO in, because then it's validated and people FOMO in. But the people who make the most money from it are the people that had exposure before the move. And so look at what he's writing here. Like, I understand that this is what the typical speculator thinks, but it is wrong. This is not the way that these markets work. And so he's a shining example of that. And Bobby A recognized that and wrote back to him and said, "This is the epitome of Pico bottom bearish sentiment. What you have written is precisely how most market participants think at levels of maximum financial opportunity. Some things never change." And so right there, folks, he is right. Another way to word it is that guy who goes by the name Alpha 12, he is the indicator. He's an indicator in and of himself that we are at the bottom. This is exactly what we should expect. But now it's just hope. So no, look at what happened in previous market cycles. He says we just have hope. And we're just blind, right? No, the data shows that these are the moments right before XRP goes ballistic. It's data. But he feels like it's just going to keep doing what it's doing forever. And it's the same thing at market tops. People just feel like it's going to do that forever. And so XRP, since right now, and until recently anyway, it's been trending down against Bitcoin for a long, long time. That's just what it's going to do forever, right? No. That is not how this works. But he wrote back to Bobby again. He said, "The XRP BTC chart has been bearish for 6 years. How does saying that now make it a bottom signal?" And then Bobby A simply said, "Never mind. If I have to explain this to you, then we are on two completely different playing fields. All I will say is, you think that will go on forever?" Rhetorical. And that's in line with the type of stuff I say on this channel. Of course it doesn't go on forever. Eventually there is an actual bottom. But Alpha 12 here seems to think that, no, there is no bottom. It just does that forever. People's minds actually work like this. And then they just screw themselves. Good luck out there, buddy. You're going to need it. Here's a post. Oh, and this is what I was referencing at the outset of the video, this new theory. So check this out. This is interesting here. And maybe there's something to it. I only recently started following this analyst. It's Tony Severino. I've been following him probably for a good month or so at this point, maybe 6 weeks, I don't know. But he's pro XRP, he holds XRP, and he thinks it's going to be worth a ton this market cycle. But he was comparing Doge to XRP, Dogecoin, and explaining why he doesn't think Dogecoin is going to do as well as XRP. And he thinks that this concept plays exactly into why we didn't see XRP at a new all-time high last market cycle. And again, XRP, it's the only top 10 coin that when the market started, it's the only top 10 coin that didn't hit a new all-time high last cycle. The only one. Now, of course, it's the only one getting attacked by the SEC at the time. So I still think that's the primary driver. But here's what he had to say. And he's got a Dogecoin chart, price chart on the top, and then on the bottom is an XRP price chart. And he wrote, "This might get some hate. Dogecoin at the top, XRP at the bottom. After such an extended rally in 2021, Doge might have a lot longer to go before it unwinds all of its sellers. much like XRP struggled during the last cycle. And so you can see that he's indicating there are so many people that purchased in 2017. It seems to me like he's kind of arguing that they still need to get shaken out. I don't know. He's the chart guy. I'm not the chart guy. Maybe he's right that that's a component. I'm kind of skeptical to some degree because there have been like what matters more? The people that bought in 2017 that they still need to get shaken out, or what about the insane number of new people that have jumped into crypto since then? Did it really just need to correct this long? Well, maybe it was going to skip a cycle anyway, but I still find that a little bit dubious. I mean, think about the number of wallets. There were less than 700,000 XRP wallets before XRP went on its face melting rally in the middle of December 2017. So yeah, a bunch of people jumped in and exceeded 1 million wallets in total 2.5 weeks later after the bull run for XRP hit its top. And now we're at over 5.2 million. And so I'm just, with over 5.2 million wallets for XRP, I'm sort of thinking, isn't there enough new demand anyway that it shouldn't matter? But as a result of that, he's saying Dogecoin, which just massively outperformed last market cycle, he's saying he seems to not be confident we're going to be seeing that again this market cycle. And funny enough, actually, recently I heard the blockchain backer, not using the same logic, but he said that he wasn't confident in so many words that Doge is going to do what it did last market cycle. And maybe that's the case. Maybe it's just after that happens, maybe you do need that big of a break. But I don't know, folks. He thinks that this is true of other coins. So, like, for instance, somebody wrote to him and he said, would Litecoin be in this same category? And chart analyst Tony Severino responded and said, yes. The enormous 2017 rally in Litecoin is the reason it's been stagnant for so long. It's only a matter of time, in my opinion. And so he's saying that XRP, because it's so massively outperformed in 2017, that's why it's been struggling since then. So, I mean, it could be a component. Like, I'm not going to sit here saying that he's wrong. I still would argue that the biggest component, unquestionably, would be the SEC. Like, the amount of uncertainty for XRP, like the cloud hanging over XRP during the last bull run, it's hard to overstate the degree to which it was consequential. So, that's what I think anyway. Now, as far as where he thinks this is going to go, the price action for XRP, somebody wrote to him and said, XRP to $8 to $9 this cycle, ? And he responded, I believe so. So, and frankly, I don't make price predictions. That might end up being conservative, though, $8 to $9, if that's where it's going to peak. I'd still be thrilled with that. But he thinks it's going to go way, way, way higher. And so people just, like the typical lemming retail speculator, is not ready for what's about to happen. And then there are some who think that the SEC v. Ripple lawsuit doesn't matter. So this is interesting. This is an extension of the conversation. So chart analyst Cryptos wrote the following, and I respectfully disagree with that. I think that he does a good job, and I've highlighted him a fair bit, especially recently on my channel. I just respectfully disagree on this particular point. But I don't need people to agree with me on everything for me to like and respect them. And so he said, I don't care about the XRP lawsuit. Price of XRP would have been the same today without the lawsuit. Been invested since 2016, XRP always moves like a freaking turtle. Nothing has changed. When the chart is ready, good news will come, not the other way around. And so I responded to him and I wrote, fewer invested in XRP than if there were no SEC lawsuit. That's also the reason XRP was the only top 10 coin to not hit a new high last cycle. And so to me, it seems very clear. Like, this has to be an obvious component, right? Obviously, the lawsuit mattered. It substantially decreased demand. And undoubtedly, there's all sorts of projects that never got built on the XRP ledger while this was going on. It's too risky, right? That's how it was perceived anyway. And then Cryptos responded to me and he said, that is true. We would have likely seen an all-time high higher than $1.90, but this has less to do with the news itself and more with the fact that the ability to purchase XRP was limited because of the exchange delistings. And so I found part of that a bit curious. The news didn't have anything to do with it, but the news, because that happened, because there was that development, that's the reason there was it's directly the news is what I'd say. And mind you, something like 90 to 95% of XRP trading at the time was already occurring outside of the United States, but still, even though the majority of it was already outside of the United States, that doesn't change the fact that there's still this cloud hanging over XRP, and it reduced demand for XRP dramatically on a global scale. Because what happens in the United States, it is that consequential. It just is. So anyway, I wrote back to him, though, and I said, this sounds like a discrepancy based on semantics rather than ideas. I think we agree, but I'll elaborate since I'm not sure, and because it's an interesting topic. The actual act of the Ripple lawsuit resulted in fewer people and institutions buying XRP than otherwise would have done so if this concerning factor never had occurred. I agree that a key factor was the delisting of XRP, but perhaps even more consequential was the uncertainty this presented to the market. Many people were, understandably, afraid to buy XRP who wouldn't have been in the lawsuit, wouldn't have been afraid, rather, if the lawsuit had never occurred. That act caused this change in behavior. I say that this act is the news. What else would the news be? Is the news the headline printed on paper or the headline published on a website? I argue it's more than that. The act is what mattered, and it is the news. If your position is that the news is separate from the act itself, then I don't think your position makes sense. But of course, I recognize you may mean something different than I interpret it. And so that's where I just respectfully disagree just on that particular point here. It was the news. Because the news is something that actually happened in the real world, that on a global scale changed how people behaved. So there's that, and then, it's a fair enough point what chart analyst Tony Severino brought up here. It's a theory I hadn't heard, I found interesting, that's why I'm talking about it in this video. Maybe it is just that XRP got so hot in 2017 it wasn't going to do as well the following cycle, but son, it's now been over 6 years. And you know that the longer something consolidates, the greater it blasts off when it finally does blast off. So this is going to be absolutely insane when this goes. That's my expectation anyway. We'll find out together exactly what happens. But I think this cycle it's going to be crazy for XRP. And maybe he's right, and Doge is not going to do as hot this cycle. Okay, that's fine. Maybe it doesn't hit a new. What if it doesn't hit a new all-time high? Okay. But it's just hard for me to believe that XRP, especially after this much time and this much new demand, everything, and the legal clarity, everything, it's hard for me to imagine that XRP isn't going to be a major part of this cycle. I think it's going to be all over headlines, and I think a lot of people are going to be really shocked with XRP having behavior in line with the type of excitement that we experienced in 2017, and it is coming. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.